Aries. They don't knock, they don't ask for permission. They walk in, and something shifts. It's not noise, it's not ego. It's the vibration of someone fully alive. Aries doesn't just walk into a room, they ignite it. Let's explore why. Reason 1. They bring raw, unfiltered energy. Aries isn't polished, they're primal. They show up with no need to be curated, no desire to be perfect. Their presence is like a fresh gust of wind in a stale room. Disruptive, undeniable, and invigorating. This energy is ruled by Mars, the planet of action, instinct, and raw life force. It's not manicured, it's alive. Even when silent, Aries carries an inner voltage that crackles in the air, like static before lightning, like instinct before thought. And this kind of energy, it wakes people up from autopilot. It reminds them that presence, raw, true presence, is more powerful than perfection. Reason 2, their passion is contagious. Aries doesn't dabble, they dive. Their passion isn't polite, it's volcanic. It pours from their eyes, their voice, their posture. When Aries is lit up by something, a project, a belief, a person, they don't just speak about it, they become it. And people can feel that. Psychologically, humans mirror emotion. So when someone burns with purpose, others feel themselves heat up too. Aries doesn't try to motivate, they embody what matters. Their passion reminds us of what it feels like to care deeply, to want boldly, to love fiercely. Reason 3, they say what others only think. Most people rehearse, Aries reveals. They're not bound by social scripts. Their truth often comes out blunt, messy, unedited, but it's real. And realness is rare. In a world of passive-aggressive subtext and emotional restraint, Aries breaks the silence like a fire alarm. Their honesty can be uncomfortable, but it's also liberating. Because when someone dares to speak the unspeakable, it gives permission for others to drop the mask. Truth has a frequency, and Aries rings like a bell. Reason 4, they move first, so others can follow. Aries is the Zodiac's beginning, the initiator, the spark. They act from instinct, not analysis. And while that can lead to mistakes, it also leads to momentum. They don't get stuck in planning. They leap and figure it out midair. That kind of courage is contagious. It stirs others to stop waiting for the perfect time and just begin. Because Aries shows us, you don't have to be ready to begin. You just have to begin. And that first move changes everything. Reason 5, they make you feel alive. Aries doesn't numb, they ignite. Being around them is like waking up after a long sleep. Suddenly you feel things you didn't know were dormant. Desire, ambition, playfulness, even rebellion. They stir something elemental in the people around them, because they themselves are living close to the source of life. They don't just remind you of adrenaline, they remind you of wonder, of risk, of what it means to want something again. They are living proof that aliveness isn't a luxury, it's a birthright. Reason 6, they bring chaos and breakthroughs. Let's not pretend Aries is always easy. They're not. They challenge comfort, they question stagnation, they disrupt routine. But beneath that chaos is transformation. Like wildfire clears dead wood, Aries clears what no longer serves. They force the truth to surface, they rattle cages, they burn through denial. And yes, it can be uncomfortable, but growth rarely comes gently. And Aries? They're not here to coddle your illusions. They're here to liberate your truth. Reason 7, they radiate courage. Courage doesn't mean the absence of fear, it means moving with fear. And Aries does this like second nature. They say the scary thing, they try the new thing, they walk away when it's time, even if their heart aches. Their courage isn't performative, it's lived. And when people see someone living bravely, falling, rising, trying again, they start to believe that maybe they can too. Aries doesn't just model courage, they activate it. Reason 8, their eyes spark with challenge. There's a fire behind Aries' eyes, not always anger, but invitation. Their gaze doesn't dominate, it dares. It says, will you rise with me? Will you stop waiting? Will you risk being seen? It's a sacred confrontation, not with them, but with your own potential. And for those who are ready, that spark becomes ignition. Reason 9, they hold a childlike wonder. So many grow up and forget how to marvel, not Aries. They can still be struck by a thunderstorm, moved by a melody, stirred by a stranger's story. Beneath the fire is a softness, a purity, and it's healing to be near. Because wonder is contagious too. And Aries reminds you that you're allowed to be moved, to be curious, to feel joy without earning it. They show us that strength doesn't have to mean hardness. Sometimes it looks like awe. Reason 10. They speak in action, not just words. Aries doesn't build trust with talk. They build it with motion. They're not interested in declarations. They care about follow-through. They show up, they act, they commit, and recommit when it matters. It's not perfect, but it's real. And in a world of overthinking, Aries reminds us that action is its own kind of clarity. They don't just say they love you, they fight for you. They don't just dream, they build. Reason 11, they don't dim for anyone. This world often asks people to be smaller, quieter, softer, just to be tolerated. But Aries doesn't shrink. They don't make themselves digestible. They don't dilute their spark for the comfort of others. And that refusal? It's radical. It holds a mirror up to all the ways we've muted ourselves. And slowly, it dares us to reclaim our fullness. Because someone, somewhere, has to go first. And Aries always does. Reason 12. They remind us who we could be. If we were brave, Aries doesn't just light up a room. They light up your memory. They awaken the part of you that used to dance without shame, dream without limits, love without armor. They are the version of you that still believes, still burns, beneath the surface, and being around them doesn't just inspire, it heals. Because they don't ask you to be them. They remind you to be you, before the world told you not to. So maybe this video wasn't just about Aries. Maybe it was about you. The part of you that's still brave, still bold, still burning for something more. Because Aries doesn't walk into a room to impress. They walk in as they are. And in doing so, they remind everyone else of what they could be, if only they stopped hiding. And if you are an Aries, never let the world convince you to cool your fire. You are not a problem to fix. You are a torch in a time of darkness. You are the first spark, the one who moves first, the one who burns, so others remember how to feel. So don't shrink. Don't soften your edges to make others comfortable. Don't apologize for your spark. You were born to burn. If this message lit something in you, subscribe, not because you owe it, but because this is your space too. Drop a comment if this spoke to your Aries soul, or if someone you love holds this fire, because this world doesn't need less Aries. It needs more of them, fully lit, wildly honest, and unapologetically alive.